I love printing. I love printing. I love it. I love printing. Hey everybody, welcome back to another session with me, Warren Werbitt, also known as the Print Whisperer. Anyways, today we're going to talk to somebody a little different, not a printer. I know I've been speaking to a lot of printers lately, although my last show too was not to a printer, but somebody who could help printers. And what I'm thinking these days is I will continue to talk to printers, but I want to find other ways and opportunities out there to help business owners, printers in particular, because that's who I'm talking to. And I want to find other ways to help them improve the bottom line in their business. We spend so much time doing what we do, not focusing on a whole lot of other things, perhaps some cost savings, verifications of our pricing, of what we're doing with our suppliers, etc. When I had my business, we used to do that. We used to do a lot of different things. But today I want to have an offering to everybody who's listening. And the offering is I got someone special for you. I have Michael Neal of Schooley Mitchell. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Good morning. Hello, Warren.
Everything good today?
It's great. It's nice, dreary, rainy outside in the Philadelphia suburbs. But other than that, things are wonderful. Business is good. I feel great. Got my workout in this morning. Loving life.
Oh, good. Unlike you, I was up late watching some Netflix series, The Vikings, till 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a little beat up this morning, but I'm good to go.
All
I'm good
right.
to go.
Good to hear.
I have known Michael for a long time, but just reconnected with him recently. And when we reconnected, he was telling me what he was doing. And I got really excited because, as I said before, more ways to help business owners save money. Give me, not me, but give us a little lowdown on what Schooley Mitchell does.
Sure. Well, I'm a strategic partner in Schooley Mitchell, and also known as we're the cost reduction experts. That's a little tagline for the marketers out there. But we primarily do three things. One, we reduce service costs for businesses of all sizes. We retroactively recover prior overcharges and billing where it's possible. And then on an ongoing basis, we work with our business clients and regularly monitor and audit all the bills that they get and check the marketplace on a regular basis to make sure they're getting the right price, the right service for what the business specifically needs. Schooley Mitchell's been doing this for 22 years, working with over 27,000 clients, hundreds and hundreds of businesses in the print industry. And we love what we do. Lights me up to make businesses better and more profitable.
Cool. So, in theory, I love the idea. Like I said before, I've had stuff like that done in the past. I was always open-minded to bring anybody in to find me money anywhere because I make enough mistakes where I bleed elsewhere. In what I'm doing now, and I'm speaking with some business owners, my first question that comes to mind is, why do you think it's so hard when you call business owners to get them to open up to this idea?
It's a great question, Warren. And it's almost a 50-50. One, sometimes it's really, really easy because these days in this environment, everybody wants to save money in a number of different ways. We can get into the benefits of that. For the most part, it's obvious. But the second, why people say no, is one of the top reasons is I don't have the time to deal with this. My staff doesn't have the time to deal with this. And my response is, when is not a good time to save money? If you could give me between 30 and 60 minutes and we could save you tens of thousands of dollars per month or hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, is it worth it for you? Now, another reason why they may say no is because we know our business and our vendors better than everybody. Maybe they do. Most of the time they don't. The advantage in working with someone like us is we're completely vendor independent. We don't rep anyone. We have no vendor's best interest whatsoever. And we're evaluating the marketplace. A business, maybe they're looking at 3 people before they make a decision, 4 different people and reps and companies for any number of cost categories. We've got the largest set of databases and software and industry understanding that we're scouring the marketplace to find the best vendor, the best price, and the best service possible. So those are the two main reasons: time and perceived expertise.
Yeah, so I look at it, and for anybody listening, it's really a no-brainer. Uh, when I hear you say, and I know exactly what you mean because I've come across it when someone says I have no time. It's I'm trying to think of the right words, but it's kind of crazy to say I don't have time. I was going to use other words, but I'm trying to be a little fresher. But it's crazy when a person says they don't have time when your business is all about time and making money. So that means that a person would be spending their time elsewhere, giving it away, not on purpose, or potential errors, or people purchasing, making errors, all kinds of stuff. That why wouldn't you just look at it? It leaves me perplexed that people don't use every opportunity or every avenue at their disposal to check what's out there. I mean,
You're right. You're right. And I love asking dumb questions. One of the dumb
yes,
questions I ask people is, what would it mean for you and your business to save money on the things that help you run your business? And what's the typical response? Oh, it means so much. I could do more sales, more marketing, more advertising. I could buy that new piece of equipment. I can give my staff raises or bonuses. I read an article this morning. It came across one of my alerts. It was in USA Today that said the majority of businesses cut back on bonuses and raises in 2023. What a crappy feeling to be a boss, not being able to reward your staff for jobs well done. And then I ask it another follow-up dumb question, Warren. How soon do you want to start saving money? Does anybody ever say, I don't want to start saving money for another 24 months? They're like, now. How quickly can we shrink these costs so we could do more?
well, part of the reason that I'm jumping on this little bandwagon that I'm creating of trying to talk with people that have potential opportunities for business owners to save money is because we're living in different times right now, right? Business is tough, supply chain issues. We went through COVID. As far as I'm concerned, it's over, but I don't believe the effects of it are over. We might not want to use the word COVID when talking, but there's a lot of suffering going on right now.
Yeah.
One of the biggest sufferings going on right now that I think, and I'm not an economist, but we got this thing called inflation. I'm still trying to figure out that's soaring through the roof. And I notice I can't believe I'm about to say this, but when I go to the grocery store, a brick of butter and the cost of it. When did I, Warren Werbitt, ever look at the cost of butter? So the fact that I'm looking at that and other things in the grocery store, maybe more just for noticing the difference in price, because I'm still going to buy the butter if it's $2.50 more for the brick. I might spread it a little thinner on my toast to make the butter go a little longer.
You're not going to do that. You like your butter.
No, I like when I actually, that's not true. I like the big knife and slap it on the toast like you're in a restaurant and it's coming out of one of those big butter bins. But anyways, all that to say that I'm noticing all of that. I'm become super conscious of what I'm buying. Do I need it when I buy it? I'm trying to have less waste. Just all of that stuff. And, to bring an opportunity to someone to their business, how could they not want to jump on it right away? Right? We in our world of print, the sheets we run through the machine that gets wasted, the stuff that gets scrapped when cutting, and it goes on and on and on. I guess what I'm really just saying is, for everybody listening, like, you need to look at every avenue. You need to pick up every carpet and look under to make sure that nothing fell on the floor. It's not about being stingy or greedy or any of that. It's about being smart today, right? It's about
That's
looking,
right.
you want to, I say this, if you could save some money and you don't care about the money that you save, your employees care. So put it in the social club, put it in something that gives scholarships, put it in somewhere that you're giving it back to the employees if you don't think you need it as an owner. And like, for that reason alone, it pays for companies to sign up and start looking.
You can do so much more. And the other piece that you kind of touched upon it is that we provide a third party resource, particularly for those businesses that say, I love having a conversation when the owner says to me, well, I run a tight ship. Perfect. I love hearing that. You know why?
Prove us wrong is what you say, right?
Validate it. And what they're going to get a team of analysts that work in our home office, which is outside of Toronto. And these people are experts in their fields, and they're going to go through all the nitty gritty, backbreaking, mind numbing research and analysis that goes through line by line of all these different bills and invoices companies receive. If they're doing shipping, whether it's small package shipping or less than truckload shipping, the amount of data that goes into that is phenomenal. If they're accepting credit cards, oh my gosh, if you look at one of those spreadsheets, it'll make your mind blow up. And we provide that third-party resource that could tell that guy that says, or gal that's running a tight ship, you're doing a great job. And oh, by the way, give the people in your finance team, your accountant, your controller, your CFO, the people who are responsible for AP and AR, give them the raise because they're doing a great job. But guess what? 9 out of 10 times when we do this, we're going to find some kind of savings for them. And then it's up to them if they want to take advantage of it.
So I'm thinking of something that I just learned, not long ago, about shipping, and maybe you just expand on it a little if you know. But so a lot of companies doing e-commerce shipping, right, using all the big standard shippers, the FedExes and the UPSs and the whatnots. So when you're doing a lot of shipping and you're making your bills, like your labels, as soon as you make the label, it was brought to my attention that you're being charged by the transport company, right? Because that's how their system operates. Right. But what a lot of companies don't do, or maybe the people in the shipping don't know that, is when the boxes don't ship, you're still being charged for the boxes if it left the building.
Right.
So there's one company that I was talking to was telling me that they got back a whole lot of money, and it wasn't from you. It was a different company doing different things, but they got back a whole lot of money for boxes that were never shipped. They never would have thought about it. They never would have known. I'm sure there's 100 things like that in different areas, right? When we're all doing what we do every day, we lose sight sometimes of all the other little simple things that make the difference.
And consider other aspects of shipping. That's a wonderful example where companies can save a ton of money. Where they could save even more money is how they're shipping it and making sure it gets from the warehouse to the destination in the proper amount of time. Businesses rarely check to see if their 2-day shipping arrives in 2 days. Guess what? If it arrives in 2 days and 2 hours, you get a credit. Nobody looks at that.
And by the way, you should know that. You should take the credit only because of the fuel surcharges today, right? We don't get to pass off all those fuel surcharges all the time to our customers because we're moving so quickly that if we're going to pay something and it's not going to get it, we want it back, right? Our customers want back from us everything that they don't get that they've paid for.
That's right. And oftentimes when businesses are doing the small packet shipping, a lot of the settings that they have in their system, similar to the ones that make the labels, are basically set it and forget it. Do they really need to send it overnight? Do they really need it next morning? If it gets there in the afternoon, is that okay? Do you need to pay that premium? And all these dozens and dozens of factors go into how companies are charged. And that's the type of stuff where I'm glad to have a team of experts behind me to help our companies save so much money.
Another thing that just comes to mind, I just had a thing with I was buying something online last week, and I went on and got to the point of shipping, and it said regular shipping, no charge, 3 to 10 days, fast shipping, 1 to 3 days, and it was $20 more. And I thought I'll go for the fast shipping. And then I thought I never really need anything that fast. So I went with the regular no charge. Guess what? It showed up 2 days later, free.
Right.
I almost paid the $20 When all these companies are shipping, they're moving the stuff as fast as it comes in. They're not putting it in a hold for 3 days, right? It just goes. And I'm sure even from that, companies could do an analysis if they wanted to of how many packages were shipped on time versus not on time.
There's such a science behind it, and there's also an art to negotiating with the different vendors, and that's a key part of it.
So aside from shipping, because we seem to talk shipping a lot, what else is there, or what other areas are there that you find savings for people?
We find a lot of savings in credit card processing, the merchant fees that vendors tend to pay. Vendors charge their clients, I should say. And because we like to say vendor agnostic, we're not representing one system, another system. And we also look at the comprehensive way a company is using credit cards. Is it just via website? Is it, somebody walking into the front door and they're swiping, or they're tapping, or they're inserting a card? All those different ways have different fees, some more expensive, some less expensive. We also deal with waste, the way, people getting rid of stuff. Some people are paying more to get rid of their cardboard boxes, less than their shredded paper.
Hey, the garbage companies, even that I remember. I didn't deal with it, but when I heard about it and got involved, the pricing of what the garbage companies charge from company to company. And I think when you go to a lot of companies, garbage pickup is so not on the list of identifiable expenses that you look at, or maybe it doesn't sit on the CFO's desk because it's a monthly bill. Oh my, there's so many things. So, okay. By the way, we're going to pick this up and get in a little more detail as we go in future conversations. Sure. Because there's a whole lot more, and maybe we'll sit down and devise a little plan to talk about different items that can help different people in different business. Because I think today, going forward, what you're doing or others to help these companies is it's a potential another revenue stream for some companies, right? Some get it on the discounts when they buy. Some do it checking all their stuff and auditing all their vendors.
Right.
Others get it on the charge and the fuel charge. But I think we just all have to be smart, because in the end, everybody wins.
It's a great win-win. And part of my personal calling, part of my personal mission, why I love doing this, I like to say that, everyone's elevated to bring more light into the world. And the way I do that when I work with my businesses, I make them better. I make them more profitable so they can do better things for everything that they bring to the world, whether it's the highest quality printing, the best customer service, the happiest employees, the way they do their social responsibility and their philanthropy. By saving them money, they can do more and be better for everyone that they serve. I love having these conversations.
Okay, so actually, the most important topic probably for most businesses listening, and I just remembered, even though I wrote it down, but I wasn't looking at my notes as usual. Explain to me the cost, because we haven't talked about who pays for this service, and there's always a but. So
there's always that, what's going on in the back of my mind? It sounds too good to be true. It really isn't too good to be true. The way that we work is that the initial analysis that we do, we call them value reports, are complementary. We go in, we look at past invoices, whether good old-fashioned physical bills or electronic bills that are sent to us safely and securely, and our team goes to work. And it typically takes anywhere between 4 and 8 weeks, depending upon the size of the company, the number of locations, and the complexity of their business or different business segments. We come back and we show them these reports. And as I said earlier, the reports are going to show one of two things. You're doing a great job. Celebrate your finance team. Or number two.
But how much?
This is where we could save you money. And
how much is going to cost me?
How much is it going to cost you? We share in the savings based on what the company, what the company saves. That's typically a 50% savings. And we do that over the course of the relationship, which is anywhere between 36 and 48 months.
So 50. So if I get back 10 grand, you take 5. If I get back 100, you take 50. If I get back 500, you take 250.
And that's correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
So basically, someone's getting back 50%. If there is something to get back, they get back 50% of something as opposed to 0% of nothing.
And that's right. That's
right.
exactly right.
And do you find that when you go to some companies, they don't get anything back, or you don't find anything?
Well, I'll give you a specific example, and it's just top of mind because we just completed the work. A large plastic surgery practice in the greater Philadelphia we worked with, and we evaluated their credit card processing, their telecommunications, what they pay for phone, internet, Wi-Fi, cable. We evaluated their wastes. We evaluated their shipping. And in waste, we were able to save them 44%. Remarkable. With credit card processing, we were able to save them a ton of money also. But with telecommunications, it was maybe 9%. And we decided, because it would have required a different type of infrastructure change, pulling in different phones, turning the system on, turning the system off, it just wasn't worth it at this time. In order to have that, almost 9% savings, we were going to wait till some contracts were done. And when those contracts are done, we may go from 8% savings to 28% savings. So that's an example of where we showed them what they could get, but collectively we made a decision that was in the best of the firm, rather than just striving to get a few dollars here and a few dollars there.
How many companies do you come across that really are as good as they say they are with, buying and managing all their processes and verifications?
Very, very few. I like giving the 90% number. 9 out of 10 companies we talked to were able to save them money.
Wow, that's a pretty good number.
It's great. And the other thing that people push back on is we love our vendors. We've been working with my next door neighbor's brother's cousin, who does our fuel. They're the ones who bring in our oil, the ones who bring in our propane to run the machines, and we don't want to go anyplace else. 80% of the time, we stick with the same vendors. We just have that negotiating power to shrink what they're paying.
Well, I think sometimes, first of all, I like companies who want to stay with their vendors, and sometimes because of the world the vendors live in, they just need a little bit of an education as to what the rest of the market is. Listen, right. we all on the buy and the sell fall in a comfort zone with some of our customers/vendors.
That's
and
right.
We sometimes forget that it's okay to verify and check pricing and service around, not necessarily to leave, but to know what's available out there. And what I say to everybody is, in business, really, you should treat your business the way you treat your personal life, right? Because we look a little harder at things in our own personal lives. We're going into the stores, we're buying, we're doing. The other thing is, I always say, treat others the way you want to be treated, right? It's all of this is really all about the other topic I'm spending time on is, mindset and mindfulness.
Yeah.
Because it's just getting into, a way of thinking and doing things. You know what? Anyways, we can go on and on and on about this. So first of all, if anybody out there would like some information on this, please feel free to reach out to me or Michael. Just mention you saw it here so he knows where you're coming from, because I'm trying to beat him up and maybe negotiate a little bit on the percentage that they take. But reach out, because I'd love to talk to you, love to help you. My goal, help another printer succeed and survive, do better. Help any businessman succeed and survive and do better. So reach out. And we're going to pick this up and continue picking it apart, because as we head into 2023, no one wants to hear the word recession. But let me tell you, when that thing starts to happen, before you know it, it fucking rolls right up on you and slaps you in the back of the head. And if it's too late, it's too late. And if I could help prevent someone from getting into any position that's not comfortable, then that's what I'm going to do. Michael, good to bump into you again. Good for the conversation. Really, really appreciate the good ideas that you're giving us. And I thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks to be here. Next time we chat, we'll go into some very specific examples of how we're helping printers of all sizes.
I'm going to set up a little series with you that we could pick apart certain things and look at. And if people want to call you and let them call you, but I want people to at least to hear and to start thinking, right? You only start thinking when you get into trouble and it's too late then. So let's avoid that. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to me. Go to my website, go buy some merch, buy a sweatshirt, buy a hat, buy a coffee cup, buy something. Help me out. Otherwise, Warren Werbitt, what they think. And I fucking love printing and printers.